The year was 1973. A young CEO, desperate to save his failing company, took its last $5,000 and gambled it all in Las Vegas. What happened next would become a business legend and change how the world ships. Fred Smith's story began not in a boardroom but in a Yale classroom. In 1965, the undergraduate sketched a radical idea in a term paper, a system to deliver packages overnight. His professor dismissed it as a fantasy, slapping it with a C. But Smith, he never forgot the idea. After serving 2 tours in Vietnam as a Marine, Smith bought a small aviation company in 1971. He quickly saw the problem. Shipping was slow, unreliable, and stuck in the past. So he dusted off the Yale paper and bet his future on it. By 1973, Federal Express was doing good, but then something bad happened. Fuel prices skyrocketed. Debts piled up. Investors fled. At one point, the company had just $5,000 left, barely enough to keep the lights on. Bankruptcy seemed inevitable. Smith pleaded with General Dynamics for a lifeline. They refused. Facing bankruptcy, he made a choice no MBA would ever recommend. With that final $5,000, he didn't pay the bills or the salaries. He drove to Las Vegas and played blackjack. What happened in Vegas did not stay in Vegas. Smith walked away with $27,000, enough to buy FedEx one more week. He'd later call it a good omen. Days later, he secured $11 million in funding. By 1976, revenue hit $75 million. And by 1983, $1 billion. If we were going down, Smith said, we were going down with a fight. Today, FedEx generates nearly $17 billion a year. Smith, still the CEO, is worth billions more. But ask him about that night in Vegas and he'll laugh. No business school teaches you to bet your company on a blackjack. But sometimes, crazy works. As for the Yale professor, he kept the C grade. Fred Smith, well, he built an empire.